Good morning, Lulus. How you doing? The fact that an 80-year-old man who doesn't believe in exercise was able to coerce a soccer company into fabricating a fictional peace prize for him just to quell his lust for medals, only for him to turn around a week later and turn into an actual pirate is insane. What's happening? I say this because as of yesterday, an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela was just minding its own business, I don't know, oiling it up, and then all of a sudden it was met with a Black Hawk helicopter from the United States, and a bunch of soldiers just rappelled out of it like an episode of Zero Dark 30 and took it under siege. And now they just said it's ours. In a statement from Pam Bondi, they were like, hey, why did you do that? She was like, well, you know, that ship was suspected of being part of narco-terrorism for a long time, and so we took it because we know that it's been associated with drugs for a long time. And they go, okay, well, did you find any drugs on there? Well, no. But we did find lots of oil, and now that we did, it's ours. This is completely insane. Of course, the global market has responded by increasing the cost of crude oil overnight because now they have to factor in whether or not our drunkard head of the Pentagon is going to randomly go off and zoink people's oil for absolutely no reason whatsoever. This is nuts. And it is genuinely piracy. Like, it fits into the legal definition of being a fluffin' pirate. That wasn't on my bingo card. I didn't think that he was going to be traveling to the Casablanca on the fucking Black Pearl. But don't worry, our peacemaking pirate, Captain Cankles, is also shaking down the International Criminal Court because he said yesterday that he's going to levy sanctions against the ICC unless they just give him blanket immunity for anything and everything that he could possibly do. But I thought that you were the guy of law and order. You would never break the law. You would never ask anybody to do anything illegal, right? Wrong! And ever since everything happened last November, people have been saying that we're not part of the ICC. It doesn't matter because we don't recognize the Rome Statute because that was signed back when we were in Iraq and Afghanistan, and we were already doing all the stuff we weren't supposed to do, and we were like, I'm not going to put my name on that. No, thank you, please, but good luck! But even though the ICC may not be capable of sanctioning or levying whatever consequences they levy against an entire country or the entire country of the United States, they are still able to try individual people. That's why there's a warrant out for Mr. Yoo-hoo right now in the iPlace, but nobody else has just been brave enough to arrest him yet. So they very well could decide to put out a warrant for Jin Diesel, the dog catcher, and the Joker, like, immediately. And in the event that they were to leave American soil, any person in Interpol could go up and snatch them up and they could bring them to The Hague. Please, pretty please. And even if they don't do that, the International Criminal Court could put sanctions against us as a country, or they could pressure other member countries to do the same. And also, in the event that we commit international crimes against a country that is part of the ICC, then the ICC does have jurisdiction against them. Venezuela and El Salvador are part of the ICC. So, you know, The Hague is actually not off the table nearly as much as people might have thought that it was. Do it, do it, do it. Because literally, if you give that man immunity, like, we should just all stop paying our bills. For real though, like, that'll be it. Because if you don't think that those two would absolutely drop a bad thing just for kicks so that they could see what happens when they do, you absolutely have them messed up. Like, do what you have to do, please. Throw the book at them. Jin Diesel and RFK are getting the book thrown at them in the House, though, because there are 3 new articles of impeachment, 2 for Jin Diesel, for Signalgate, and for what's happening in the Caribbean, and RFK just because he's an idiot, basically. Because he's an assault on science. Like, yeah, no joke. The anti-vaxxer that you put in charge of all of our medicine, yeah, he is anti-science. I don't believe in hepatitis B vaccines because hepatitis is transmitted sexually. Where do you think babies come from, RFK? You freaking dummy. Not gonna lie, I would find that hearing to be wildly entertaining, and I hope that it actually happens. But that would require for little Mikey with a big secret to agree to do it, and the chances of that are relatively low, but we'll see. We'll see. Because Republicans used to love rules and love laws and love regulations, and now they just don't. So, I don't know, maybe they're having an awakening process. And lastly, we're just days away from 3i Atlas's closest approach to Earth, and it's not a comet. I mean, They just keep telling us, yes, of course it's a comet. It doesn't act anything like a comet. It's not built of anything that we typically know comets to be built out of. And it actually doesn't have any other comet-like qualities, but it's supposed to be, so it must be. Okay, well, if it is aliens, I'm really sorry, because when you get here and you say take us to your leader, we're gonna be like, okay. No matter what happens today, hope you guys take care of yourselves. Hope you drink some coffee, hope you eat a yummy snack, and as always, keep your eyes up, keep your feet on the ground. I'll see you next time. Ta-ta!